We're all ready to go. And we're going to start over on Joseph's side, leading Birds of Paradise. Take a look at Joseph's deck. It's a cool, unique take on these Stone Blade decks. I haven't seen a ton of this recently. In fact, I haven't seen a lot of Stoneforge recently.
No, not a lot. You know, when creature combat is not what dominates the format, who cares about Batterskull?
Yeah, I think you're exactly right.
But what Joe is doing is pretty unique here. He's got 8 1-drops, and then he's trying to always accelerate into pretty powerful plays on turn 2. He's got tons of good 3-drop options. There's Oko. There's
4 of them. Count them.
Little Teferi and Spell Queller, which all spectacular to come down early in the game.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
This is a brutal start for Joe Bernal as Austin Collins finds an Engineered Explosives on 1, killing Birds of Paradise and Noble Hierarch at a time when Joe Bernal only has 1 land. Those are some beats right there.
Yeah, that was just backbreaking.
Austin Collins, no Okos in his Amulet deck. Does, of course, have 4 copies of Once Upon a Time, though. 2 Castle Garenbrig. These decks are congealing a little bit upon an agreed-upon setup. And now Austin Collins has found a couple of amulets. Oh, and an Azusa. And a bounce land, question mark? Yeah. Sure. Golgari Route Farm.
Didn't we just watch this?
Feel like we did. Something very similar. This is a turn 3, though, Craig, so this is fair. Gonna go find a Primeval Titan with that Once Upon a Time. Yeah, we'll play that Rot Farm again. And how about we cast this Primeval Titan? It's gonna go get a couple more lands. White open on the side of Bernal, so see if Collins wants to play a little slow. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna pick him up. Yeah. You want to make your opponent do it when you're sitting across from Amulet Titan, but it's like, what are we really doing here? Writing is on the wall.
Yeah, you kind of do, but Austin is not going to make just a really silly mistake there.
Right.
So even if he doesn't somehow win that turn, he's still going to end up with just like 3 Titans and play versus the opponent's 1 land on the next turn.
Right, the old virtual win for Austin Collins. Why don't we take a look at sideboards real quick? If I'm over on Austin's side, I see a couple cards I really like. And we talked about lands being super impactful. Austin able to grab copies of Cavern of Souls as well as Field of the Dead. And those 2 cards have changed these controlling matchups 100%.
Yeah, so being able to find the Cavern of Souls consistently, you know, with Once Upon a Time, you're just digging so much, so you're going to be able to find that card a high percentage of the time against the control decks. Is just so important. And then if the game goes to the mid-game to long game at all, the Field of the Dead is just going to take over by itself.
It absolutely does, and it's nice to have a new angle to play against any kind of control deck. There's also Mystical Dispute.
I love Mystical Dispute.
Yeah, nice little grab.
I say I love it. I love it. In a contextual world, I actually hate the card.
Okay.
Just it's too strong as
a complicated individual, correct?
1-mana counterspell. Well, if it's in my sideboard, I love to play against a deck with lots of blue spells where I can bring it in.
Sure.
But as a card, having a format where potentially people are just fighting Mystical Disputes against Mystical Disputes against an Oko, it just seems like this awkward, messy place to be.
It's weird. It's weird. We haven't really seen that come to fruition all that much thus far just because the green cards are so powerful. Looks like both players satisfied with 7 here. Joe Bernal leading on, what's that one called? Waterlog Grove?
Yeah.
Noble Hierarch. All Japanese on the side of Joe Bernal. Once Upon a Time from Austin Collins. Going to go a searching. Finds that bounce land. Again, hand just so much better with this added consistency. And here's a turn 1 Amulet. Been a quiet year by Austin's very lofty standards here on the SCG Tour. Of course, first rose to prominence, playing a lot of KCI. Still a very young man is Austin.
Okay, we didn't talk a lot about Joseph's sideboard.
We didn't. They moved too quick. And in Joseph's sideboards, 3 copies of Ashiok, 4 copies of Damping Sphere.
Yeah, love it.
Joe does not want to lose this matchup.
Yeah, he's not messing around. He's saying, against all the various big mana strategies, I'm going to have a very strong sideboard plan.
Yeah, and this Ashiok's just going to town, minusing pretty aggressively. I would assume that means probably another copy rolled up for Joe. Hierarch going to tap, make birds, follow up, damping sphere. Austin's going to go ahead, cast a Once Upon a Time. Gets 5 cards deep. Yeah, Joe came to play against this matchup for sure.
Yeah, with Ashiok and Damping Sphere, he's in a pretty good spot here.
Austin finds Primeval Titan. There's Castle Garen break. Vesuva. Copying that breeding pool. Going to use it a few times to go ahead and cast Primeval Titan. Attack Ashiok. And that Titan just sitting on the battlefield. I mean, 6/6 Trampler.
Still big body, yeah.
It's okay. Is it going to be enough for Austin Collins? Joseph Bernal going to tap some mana. And you know what he's playing. Come on. Primeval Elk likely coming. There we go.
Oh, man.
Primeval Elk. Much less effective card than Primeval Titan, surprisingly.
And are we looking at one of the borderless Okos?
We are. Beautiful Magic card.
Yeah, sometimes you just have everything, right?
Austin going to get up some more shenanigans and play a backup Primeval Titan. Or should I say, a backup Primeval Elk.
Yeah, you should say a backup Primeval Elk.
Pretty neat that you can use Oko to swap your Damping Sphere for your opponent's stuff. Here, you can have this. And it looks like that is going to be the play. I would assume that means more Okos, another Primeval Elk. And Bernal passes the turn back to Austin Collins. Austin Collins asks, what am I doing with my life? How did we get here where we're jamming Primeval Elks against each other? How about another Primeval Titan? And now that Ashiok is off the battlefield.
Yeah, this is big.
This is a big break point in this matchup. And the gets, looks like it's going to be Field of the Dead, Bounce Land. And that Field of the Dead now looking at 7 different lands. 2 zombies onto the battlefield. Let's replay it. How about another zombie? I thought we were done with this, Craig. I thought we were done with this. Didn't someone say this card was banned?
And Bernal was in such a good spot. He couldn't find a body to put in front of these elks on the opposing side.
Right. Well, another Primeval Elk is made, but now those elks have some friends. Horde of zombies at the ready for Austin Collins. And the whole squad here.
Yeah.
Rumbling in. Don't know where they're headed. Here's a Spell Queller played raw. Not ideal. Couple blocks found, but Joe Bernal going to fall to 3.
Oh, man. Yeah, he's just ignoring that Oko.
Austin tapping some more mana. More bounce land shenanigans. Says, I'm going to make a bunch of zombies. Plays an Engineered Explosives on 3. And clean up that Oko. Should he choose, alongside the Spirit, and that is going to get the handshake from Joe Bernal. Austin Collins just beat Ashiok.